Staying up. I'm wilding out. I'm leaning in.
Hey guys, today we have Nikon's latest Coolpix P600. Now this is one of the first camera with a massive 60x optical zoom. The box is fairly big, you see, mainly because the camera is big. Because of the 60 zoom, you will need lots and lots and lots and lots of glass to achieve that. So you get the marketing and pricing information there. You'll see the MRP is 23,950, but you'd get it for slightly over 19,500 on Amazon.in here in India. You'll also get it for about $427 on Amazon.com and about £319 on Amazon.co.uk. You have what's supposed to be inside the box, which we're gonna show you here anyway. So you can see the red version here, which is very cheesy, and you also get a relatively more sober black color, and that's about it all. You can see that it's wide 60x zoom Nikon lens. You get 16.1 megapixel sensor and then variable angle 3-inch LCD, and also has a lens shift VR. Inside you get the manual. So we always suggest that you first read the manual, because in case of cameras they generally always bring in something new and different. You get the warranty card and then some service center list, and then we straight away get to the camera. Here you can see it's a massive camera, almost DSLR size, yeah. And there you have the red version, yeah. Apart from that, you also get the usual data cable. Is the micro USB 2.0 data cable. You also have the 1 ampere wall adapter flat pin, but then for some other markets you get this round pin adapter that can fit in front of that adapter. You get your shoulder strap, and then you also get a massive EN-EL23, which is a 1850 mAh battery. You need this 1850 mAh battery mainly because you know, when you go to 60f zoom, you need lots and lots of mechanical movement here, and that mechanical movement also aids battery life. So you need a bigger battery to be able to get a respectable number of images and videos with this camera, despite of having lots of mechanical movement. So that's the P600. Now it's by no means a small and light camera. In fact, it looks mostly like an entry-level DSLR. So you have the D3300, which also, by the way, comes in this color, and this guy looks pretty similar to that, only slightly smaller and significantly lighter. But that does not mean that this guy is any light. It's quite heavy, but most of all it's very bulky. So it's you would need a sizable pocket in your bag to carry this. Now the whole camera is basically made of plastic, as you can see, and it's not very high quality plastic. It's just about average quality, entry-level camera quality plastic here on, you know, everywhere. And then you also have patches of rubber in places where you'd hold the camera, here, and also the flaps are of rubber, but they also don't look very high quality. However, it might just be the look as well also. Yeah, actually the black color looks more premium, mainly because this rubber and other things and this top part kind of goes nicely with the black color. Now I like the red color on the D3300. The red color here, for me at least, looks slightly out of place because the rubber parts here look very awkwardly, you know, I mean, either the red color or the rubber look not in sync with each other. Anyway, so let's go ahead and check out some of the controls and other parts here. First of all, the unmistakable 60x Nikon zoom lens here. So these are the details. You can see 60x wide optical zoom, that it says 4.3 to 258 mm. That's the zoom range here. That's the aperture range, 1/3.3 to 6.5. Now 6.5 at 258 mm is fine, but we would have really liked if it started on let's say a very good wide aperture, like something like 2.8. And to give you an idea how the zoom looks like when it comes out, so that's how you switch on, and then the moment you start pressing, so you have zoom leader either here or here, so you can get anything. So just see it just first sticks out, and then the lens goes all the way in, there it stops. So that's your full 60x zoom. It also comes down like this, and then you're finished. It's not very fast, and it also takes a lot of battery mechanically moving that zoom in and out. Yeah. So apart from the lens, here you get the zoom lever on the lens itself. Now that helps stabilizing the camera somewhat more than this one, so you can actually keep your hand there, which is always advisable while using these high zoom cameras, and then you can very conveniently do this from here only. Apart from that, you also have the whole here, you have your autofocus assist lamp, and then yeah, Nikon, that's the flash that really pops out from here. It's not a tiltable flash, just your usual flash. So on top you have that's the power button, oh sorry, that's the shutter release button, then your zoom lever, that's one, and that's another one, and then you have your FN button, your power button right here, shooting mode dial, another good addition. So you have your usual program, shutter priority, aperture priority, full manual. Also have a custom UI mode. I absolutely love that, FX, and then some other scene modes and stuff. Your stereo mics here and here, and then your Wi-Fi zone here, the pop-out flash as I showed you, then eyelets for your landlord. This could be the only part in the camera that are made of metal, by the way. So you have a speaker here, and then your ports like the micro USB 2.0 port and your micro HDMI port. Yeah. On the back side you have the brilliant 270-degree articulating LCD screen. That's not touch screen, but you can almost tilt it in any way. So selfie from sides, here, there, from up, from down, no problem at all. It's a brilliant screen. We like that 3-inch, not touch screen, but that's fine. So you can switch between the optical viewfinder and the LCD screen just by pressing this screen. So this is not automatic, there is no sensor here like some of the mirrorless cameras, when the moment you go near the optical viewfinder, the LCD switches off. You'll have to manually press this to toggle between the LCD and the optical viewfinder. It's kind of slightly slow. It takes about 3 to 4 seconds before switching off to another day. See? Yep. And then your diopter settings there, then your display settings, dedicated video button, your command dial, and then playback button, multi-selector, OK menu, and delete button. Below you have your tripod mount and the battery and SD card slot there. And I showed you the battery. I suppose it has this 1850 mAh battery, ENEL23. So that's about the controls and other things of the camera. Even the lens cap is cool and very good quality, but we would have liked this lens cap attached by a thread somewhere. We always tend to lose this when left alone. Now overall I really like the grip of the camera. This grip is very important. It's a massive grip, you can see, but that's very important to keep the camera steady when you're shooting handhold at anything over, let's say, 5x or 10x. This guy goes to 60x. Keeping the camera still is almost impossible when handhold, but still when you don't have a tripod, when you don't have any option, this guy gives a very good hold, and it's almost like a viper grip, and this rubber, this texture on the rubber actually helps a lot. Also keep your hand here, and then whoop, it goes. But we always recommend using a tripod for such a high zoom at 60x. Even if you so much as breathe, it's all will go haywire, and you will you'll all again have to zoom out and then fix on the target and zoom in. So it's very easy to lose your target at 60x, and that's why it's utmost important that you use a tripod or absolutely basically stabilize your camera. Anyway, we love the whole, the usability wise, this guy gets full mark. All the buttons are here just by holding this. It's such a great hold, this one, that just by holding this I can almost operate the whole camera from here. There almost nothing here except the diopter setting, which you would need once in a blue moon. Apart from that, amazing. So usability wise, this guy is awesome. We also like the features mainly because of the semi-automatic features that we have here, and let's show you some of those and also the other user interfaces. So the moment you switch on the camera, from here brilliant ring comes up, and then there you see the display. Now you can toggle the display from this. Yeah, you can also go to, let's say, that playback mode, and you'll have some playback menu, quick retouch, and some other thing, connecting menu, so that you can share to your tablet or phone via Wi-Fi, and some other settings. You can also come away from this, and let me go to full manual so I can show you some of the menu items. I can say that's your image quality, fine. So it supports only JPEG, so no RAW format. One the disappointment, but okay, we can understand at the price point. So maximum image size 16 MP. It has that 16 MP sensor, and then your white balance and metering, continuous shooting mode. See, yeah, and some other stuff, sort of focus area and auto delight selection. Then also your movie options. Okay, you can support up to full HD 30p or full HD 60i, but no 60p, no 60 progressive. So if you want to shoot at progressive, you'd have to come down to 30p. You can also shoot at interlace at 60i. Same thing with 720. In fact, 720 I don't see 60p and 60i here. In autofocus mode, you can have full time. In movie mode, generally I'd like to keep a full time. So frame rate 30 or 25 if you're shooting at NTFC, 30 if you're shooting at PAL, then it's 25. And then your Wi-Fi and other settings, and then some of the system settings. But these are usually also have a peaking, which I really like. You know, so that kind of shows you the focused area. Now whenever you're using a semi-automatic focus, then you can at least know by with the help of peaking whether the subject is properly focused or not. So a very easy to use user interface. Now the shooting mode dial, as you can see here, programmed auto. So in each mode the available option would be different. Full manual mode is generally where you like to use everything fully manually, so there most options are open, but otherwise aperture priority, you would see pretty much the options that that particular shooting mode deserves or offers. You have the scene modes, and then you have some other quick scene modes and all this other stuffs. Yeah, let's see, scene auto selector, aperture priority, programmed auto, and then that's like fully auto mode. The camera takes over everything. So pretty well layout, usual and easy to use, not a high learning curve user interface. Usability, user interface and feature wise, this guy is top notch. Let's come to the image and video quality. Now while talking about the performance of the P600, you'll have to keep something in mind which is very, very important even in general while buying a camera, and specifically one when you have a budget constraint. If you do not have budget constraint, if you want an all-rounder camera, if you want a camera that does everything, you should get a 1DX or a D4S probably, and those are very high high price sharp lenses. But if you have budget constraint, then you'll have to sacrifice in some way or the other. So both to the biggest manufacturers, Nikon and Canon, have cameras at this price point, and they have all the product lines. Basically they have cameras at the same price point for all kind of audiences, and even the other companies. For example, at times you might want to need a mega zoom, so they have this. You might want to need a bigger sensor, they have for this. Those won't have such a big zoom. You also might want to look for the style only, maybe just want to show off your camera and more pocketable slim camera, not necessarily high zoom or a high sensor, or not necessarily quality basically. So they have it there. You might also want to need some rugged cameras, not necessarily mega zoom or something, but then you want something that you can take underwater, you can take to to your trip to Himalayas and all these things. So they have cameras for those also. But every one of these cameras sacrifice on one feature or the other. They mainly excel in one particular feature. Now that we've settled that, let's come to the P600, and it's obvious that the P600 tries to excel in the zoom categories. It has a 60x zoom, so while talking about the performance, you should mainly concentrate on the zoom performance here. You're not gonna get a big sensor because that's not what this camera is for. If you want 60x zoom on a big sensor, you might have to sell your car. You're not gonna get style because 60x zoom has nowhere to hide. It obviously has to have a very big nose. Yeah? And there's the same thing goes about a rugged body or something. This is already so bulky. If you want to make this rugged, then it's like, it'll be very hard to actually carry it. So you'll have to sacrifice some things or the other. Taking all these things into consideration, the P600 actually exceeded our expectation of image and video quality. I'll tell you why. Number one is that this guy has amazing stability even at 60 optical zoom, even when you apply the additional digital zoom, and that's specifically true under enough light. Under enough light, you could see the details very nicely at 60x. And the VR here is very, very strong. Of course, if you use a tripod, that's gonna get again even more enhanced, but even while handheld, this camera actually performs very, very good. And we are amazed by its low light stability, mainly, not quality necessarily, but the stability. So we just tried to zoom in on one word from 60x, and at even 60x under very low light, we could actually focus on the word, and the word did not kind of become fuzzy. It was quite sharp, not exactly tech sharp. Of course, you cannot accept shooting handheld and still get a tech sharp picture, but at 60x, the clarity that we got was amazing. The clarity from the point of view of being able to focus, the VR feature mainly. Now about the noise and other stuff. Now under enough light, daylight, and or under enough artificial light, of course, does not show too much noise. Anything less than that and this guy start showing noise, but not much of a camera at a really, really low light. Of course, and under manageable light, it can still go quite a long way in giving you the proper quality, but if it gets anything below that, then this guy really, really struggles, and that's that's not really this guy's forte. If you want, they should really go for a high a bigger sensor. That's the single most important thing that can give you a very good quality picture under low light without giving you the noise, and also a very good image processing engine, of course, but sensor is the main thing. Now, having said that, it has a lot of competition. The main I would see is from the Canon's mega zoom cameras and Sony's mega zoom camera. You also has a couple of Fuji's mega zoom cameras, and you have Sony's HX300 only 30x. You have some 42x zooms, you have some even 50x zoom, but I actually can't think of another camera that has a 60x zoom. I might be mistaken. Please tell me in the comment if you can think of one. I think till now only this guy can give you a 60x zoom. Now 50x zoom and 60x zoom, you might think does not make that much difference, but well, it might make a difference between looking at the whole bird and looking at only the eyes of the bird. At the end of the day, should you get this camera? You should definitely get this camera if you shoot a lot of wildlife and you're not concerned about the quality. You're mainly concerned about the reach. So this guy is not a very good camera for action, mind you. The burst rate is also not great, but it's the reach, be it wildlife, be it sports, be it anything anything at the distance, and preferably still or slightly moving, you can really zoom in. It will give you great details. If you like this video, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to our channel for more such awesome content in future, and if you have any question related to this camera, please ask in the comments and we'll try to answer them all. Thank you.